All right, everyone. So fans, they weren't too happy with Brock Lesnar just destroying John Cena. I want to be clear, this is an article written by Yard Barker, and this is certainly going to be something that has a divided view, right? And what I mean by that is, even though this article, the point of it, fans are upset, fans are outraged. I don't think that's just a universal thing where it's like every fan is upset, right? With this, some probably liked it, and I was among those who, if they can deliver on what they're setting up, then I think maybe people in the at the end of the day will actually end up liking this more. But as of right now, a lot of people are upset. So we're going to go through. Obviously, they were showing the people crying, during the match, which this right here, right? And you're seeing this is the fan reaction WWE actually wants, right? That's the reaction they want because they're trying to build this story of Cena is facing this, the beast incarnate, right? Who is unbeatable and he can go ahead and beat them that way. That's what he's trying to set up, right? That kind of that David versus Goliath like story. So I get it, but you got to make sure you deliver on that. Now, otherwise, I think people will be pretty pissed. So they pointed out one fan tweeted, "What the actual f was the point of this? You couldn't give John Cena one more win over Brock. I'm done with this show already." Another fan was shocked that WWE even wasted one of Cena's last matches for it to be a lopsided mess. It was a less than 10-minute match, and even post-match, Lesnar attacked Cena, and WWE officials, the fan wrote, "Can't believe WWE really wasted one of John Cena's final dates on this, to be honest." While another blamed WWE's chief content officer for ruining it. Triple H ruined John Cena's retirement run. Another fan also blamed WWE management and jealousy. They wrote, just poor jealousy from the whole WWE managing team on John Cena for real. How can they allow him to be buried like this in the final moments of WWE? Where is Super Cena that we know? Vince McMahon was way better. Triple H, you are mad. One fan brought up AEW doing a better tribute to Cena. I started to thinking how regrettable it is today that AEW paid a better tribute to John Cena than WWE itself did. So, I just think this is one of those things, right? Where it depends what comes after this, right? That to me is a big one. And I do agree with the idea that it appears to me now and go back to the beginning of the retirement tour on this channel. I was the biggest kind of praiser of the retirement tour because I think it has been great. But I'm starting to realize, and I think this is something really important that a lot of this is because of how good Cena is versus the way WWE is telling the story. I think if you objectively look at John Cena's retirement tour to this point, WWE has completely botched it every way, shape, and form. They just have. And it's been John Cena and his kind of connection with the audience that has allowed for, even if, the thing has been butchered, people still love it. But I agree. I mean, you think about what they put their trust in, right? They said, "Oh yeah, we're going to have The Rock, Travis Scott, John Cena, this kind," and that goes away. Like that was such you turned him heel only to have to reverse and go the other way. That should have never happened. That risk should have never been taken if The Rock wasn't going to be on WWE TV. You could have done it without Travis Scott, but you couldn't have done it without The Rock in that situation. And I really thought when I saw the heel turn and kind of what Cena said afterwards, I thought what we were going to get was kind of the ending of, okay, he's going to be champ for, basically till the end. And then if he wins, he destroys wrestling and ruins wrestling. And if he loses, then he ends up, basically, that's the story. And that's the last we see. And there's some nice closure to that. But we didn't get that. And even when I was thinking about this match, the part of the problem with what happened with Brock and with what happened with Cena is that there was no stakes in this match. Meaning, it didn't feel like even though we watched as Brock Lesnar beat the crap out of John Cena, even though we watched as it was a complete domination of John Cena, it didn't feel like there was any stakes to this. There was not enough build that really mattered. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was build, but it's not to the level that really mattered. And it made me think when I was watching Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre in the main event how much better this match would have been if this was some type of championship match, if a title was on the line or you know, a um, number one contenders thing, right? And look, I love Cody Rhodes. He's a fine champion, and he's probably the number one guy in the company. There's no question about that. You got guys like Roman Reigns and others, but he's a big deal. I get it, and I love him as champ. But for Cena's retirement tour, I think putting the belt on Cena and keeping the belt on Cena especially if you're gonna have Brock return, like, give us some stakes here. Like, what exactly was the stakes of this match last night? Okay, Brock destroyed John Cena. We watched as he got up, got out of the ring, and that was it. Okay, so he was embarrassed. Like, what was the real stakes that we were going for? Now, maybe they're gonna add to it, and if they do, then I'll retroactively go back and say, well, okay, this was step one in what's gonna be a long process. But if this is truly, Brock Lesnar's last time fighting John Cena, and we're not gonna get another match like this, then this was, all it was, okay, we're gonna put two big names together and have them go at it, right? That's kind of it. And I warned about this before, really right after, not right after everything with Vince happened, but as kind of the hype train of WWE continued to roll, I said, We have to wait a little while for, because everybody was just in love with the storytelling. And I was like, yes, this is cool, but let's just wait a little bit because, it's impossible to kind of shoot 100% on this stuff, right? It's just absolutely impossible. And I don't know, right? I don't know what the future holds with this feud, but if they don't deliver on it, I think there's going to be a lot of people, rightfully, as we see in this article, that are really upset. I do believe that. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.